Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the live show. I hope everybody had a great day. I hope you guys are locking in profits. The market wasn't too bad. SPY was down a little bit. Apple and Tesla were up, looking good, and so is, I'm telling you, that Meta is insane, is it not? Microsoft, Nvidia, Google, and Amazon were pulled back a little bit. Might see a little more. The SPY actually did pull back a hair, and underneath across the MACD, I posted it, and then it pulled itself back up, so that's always a good look right there. So we'll obviously go through everything and take a look and see what they're up to, and of course what's going to be popping. So I hope everybody had a good day, and here we go. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence, and let's rock and roll. A couple big poppers: TIVC, KDLY, they were way up, in XLO, and that AIFF was way up there, and Yosh, we were looking at that one not long ago, and that one did pop up big. So we will go through and see what's going to be popping next. Let's take a look at OMGA. That was up today, and we knew that was going to be moving, and it is going to hit that MACD. And again, you know what it's going to do. It's probably going to flatten out here, and it's going to get maybe up to that 20, which was 38 cents. It got up to 34. So it got up to the line. They do pop. They get up there, they flatten out, and then they go crossing, and that's the next pop up. So you just got to play them a couple times so you don't have your money tied up while it's jumping around. Just catch the popper and keep on moving to the next one, because there is plenty of poppers going around right now. That's for sure. So that is OMGA, and good old B hat here, BHAT. Let's take a look at it. It was pulled back a little bit, but ran up really good yesterday, and it could just be a little healthy pullback after yesterday's run up there, because yesterday it ran up pretty good from 8 to 14, and today it was at 9, came down to 7, but closed at 8. And again, it doesn't look terrible. We'll see if it wants to come back down to that 20, which is down at 6, but it did run up there, and we'll see if it can keep going up. And that's B hat there, and CYN. That one would pull back a little bit today, and another one that had run up yesterday still never got out of the basement. It's just dragging that bottom line right there and could easily shoot back up. So you can play these poppers, and again, they'll set back up and go a little bit higher. So this one never got out of the basement. CYN just dragging that line and trying to set back up. We'll see if it wants to get popping out of the basement. If it does, you know it's going to run up there. And yesterday it was up to what, 28 cents, almost 30 almost, and that was CYN. It's at 13 right now, right in between 13 and 14, somewhere in that range. And yeah, they do run up quick, and then they come down even faster. So MGOL, this is a perfect example. We caught this one all the way down at 12 cents, and it ran all the way up to 76, and then it started pulling back, and right now it closed at like 45, and it actually jumped up in the after hours there to about 53, I believe. Yeah, 64. So yeah, it did jump back up, but today it went 53 up to we'll say down to 43, and then in the after hours it jumped up to 68. It closed at 64. So it is looking better. And again, some of these are going to have a little healthy pullback. They run up, and then they can run they pull back and can go a little higher. So that's what we look for. But you still want to try to take your profits as it's running up there, because you just never know if it's going to set back up. And if it does, you catch it on the next run up there. It's not a big deal. You don't have to have it at 12 when you ran it from 12 to 76, and then you made a bunch of profit. You can roll in some of that profit and catch it at a good price here before it goes up if you like it that much. So that's MGOL, and just an example of how you can play them. RIME up 10 cents on that reverse split. And again, we were looking at this bad boy. I mentioned it. It did look much better off that reverse split today, and it is moving, and it looks pretty good to continue to move up here. So that's RIME. So watch that one tomorrow off the reverse split. Was up about 10 cents today. Did pull back a little in the after hours, but I don't think it's anything too crazy right there. So that is RIME. We'll keep an eye on that. And OSHA, Ocean Biomedical, OCEA, That was down 2 cents. It recently ran up. And again, it got out of the basement, it hit the line, and then just has a little bit of pullback there. We have to take a look and see if it's trying to drag it back into the basement or if it's going to try to move. I think it's going to, I mean, it's just so crazy. It jumps around. Every candle's like red with this thing, even when it goes up. So I have no idea what goes on, but it had 70 million in volume today. And yesterday it had 562. And then the day before that, 558. And yeah, it's got like 73. I mean, it's insane. So maybe there's a lot of shorters on this thing. OCEA, I'm not exactly sure, but there's a ton of volume and it goes up when it goes when it's red. So it's a weird thing. And I'm gonna guess it's people shorten things. OCGN, this bad boy is just pulling back, but I have a feeling it's gonna get set up. Let it pull back if you like it, and then it should get running and set up. And I think the chart's going to try to change around a little bit and become bullish. So we'll keep an eye on it because if it does, it could have a nice run up. And that's all basically I'm looking at for that thing. It's pulling back right now, but we'll see if it wants to get cruising and then the chart will set back up and be more bullish again, and that thing will get running. So we'll look at that, and that is OCGN and WISA. This thing was running up that semiconductor one, like I was telling you guys. We were all over this bad boy, 116 to 174. It's at 135 right now. It did cross through, had that hard curl up, and we'll have to see if it does want to run some more tomorrow. Has resistance up here at like 182. So we'll have to look. It also has the 50 up here at like 165. So it could just pull back a little bit and then get set back up. But I'm telling you, this thing is super bullish. It's just setting up here, and it's a semiconductor from the USA. We've been talking about it, WISA, and it did pop up right there. And that is WISA. And that Wint was up too, WINT, just like we were talking about Wintry. And this one had jumped up today. WINT, what did it go to? 22 to 29. And then it came down to 14. It closed at 15. So it did run up there. And it could be some pullback. It's in that channel, maybe even, yeah, it's basically in that channel right there out of the basement. So that's a good look. And they only run up so much right now. So you got them two straight run ups, and then today popped up and pulled back. And then it might stay in that channel as it sets up for the next leg up there. So that's WINT, but we were looking at that and having that pop up, and it did. And this LRHC, remember, guys, I was telling you it would take a little while for it to set up. Well, the timing's off right now because these charts are just not moving as usual. So I'm like thrown off for the timing. And some are moving a little quicker than others, but most are moving kind of slower than usual. And this one's getting really set up, this LRHC. You can see it. And like I was saying, it was going to have some pullback as it was getting ready. And yesterday was probably its bottom there at 22. And it jumped up to what, like 25 or 26 today, LRHC. So keep an eye on that bad boy because it is getting set up to try to run. And as we said about a week or so ago, it would take a week or two, and it did. And now it's getting set up. So you just got to be patient with them and just watch what the chart's telling you. And then you get in them at the right time, like STSS. We were looking at this. We know it had the big fish hook. We know where the bottom was. It was curling up. It's hitting that line today. And of course, it goes up. You know that it's going to. STSS 34 to 43. It closed at 38, and it looks pretty good right there. It should try to cross through. I would see it coming through because if not, it's going to stay in that basement and really get crushed down. And even if it crosses through, it could stay in the basement, hit that line, and go flat, but still have a pop up there. So that is STSS. So definitely keep your eye on that one as well. And LYT, that one had that nice dip and it's getting set up. We know where the bottom is for this thing, and it is getting set up. It just has a couple days left in it. So we will keep our eye on this thing. That's why I kept it on the list, because I think that bottom, what's today's 24? And yeah, it could have been a little dip and rip situation right there at that 24. So keep an eye on that thing tomorrow, LYT, because that's getting set up and it looks pretty good. And this RTC has been setting up right here. and it's been bouncing around, and that's fine. It was down 4 cents today, more or less flat, not a big deal, but it does look pretty good to try to run here. So it is just, again, they're just taking a little longer than you would expect them to set up. And I'm not sure if it's like tariff stuff. I have no idea, but they are just thrown off on timing for whatever reason. But they are setting up and running. So I can't complain about that. They're just the timing's off a little bit. Usually I can time them much better, and they're just kind of throwing me off because some are faster than others, and they're just not moving like they usually do. But that's fine. It's not a big deal. We just have to look at them and pay attention. I think we have to be a little more patient with some of them and not really jump the gun because they can have that dip and rip, and some of them are still setting up. And when it would only take like a day or two, it's taken 3 or 4. So that definitely throws up your timing on things because things can happen in that time frame, and you have to just pay attention. So not the end of the world. We look at them all. It's not like I say we pay attention, but that's just been throwing me off just a hair. ADTX was popped up there yesterday. Today it never even got out of the basement right there. It hit that line and pulled back. It's still in the basement, so it's still going to have that run. Probably just some healthy pullback right there as it came up and hit the 20. I would expect it to keep getting set up to get out of that basement right there. So that's ADTX, and you know we've been watching that one forever. So keep an eye on that because it will get set up. And this CHSN, this thing crossed through and is looking pretty good. So keep an eye on Chanson International as well. I know a few of yous like this one, and I'm telling you, this thing's getting set up to try to curl up there. 49 to 51. It closed at that 49, and it is not looking bad for good old Chanson. That's why I've kept it on the list here because it is set up and ready to rock and roll. And how about this icon? It's just bouncing around as this sets up, and this one looks like it could be a good one for tomorrow. We know it's been down here. We basically know where that bottom's right around that 27 where it came down to today, and 26 the other day. That was its bottom. And yeah, it came down to 27 today. And this thing wants to get moving like an icon. So it's just making a tiny little base down here, and it's going to start cruising. So definitely keep your eye on icon as well because that is set up and trying to get cruising off that bot. It's in the basement really, so it still has to curl up, and I can imagine it'll curl up and run, hit that basement, that like top line right there, and then get stuck, go sideways, then run up some more. So you might have a couple poppers in the icon coming up here. It's setting up and looking decent. And how about the Lion LGHL? It was looking good last night. It was up a penny today, and it looks really good to let the Lion out. So keep an eye on this thing tomorrow. LGHL 14 to 16. It did close at 14, but I would say it looks pretty healthy. So keeping it's a healthy Lion right now for LGHL. So definitely keep an eye on that, and we'll just run through our big cats because we always do. So CTNT, the good old cheetah, was down 12 cents. This thing was trying to set up right there. It was curling up, and now I think you have your dip and rip. So you have to be patient down to $1.88. It's back to $1.98 right now, and that is good old cheetah. So look for that to try to dip and rip right here. It came down, touched that bottom line, and had a nice dip. And we know they've been loving that dip and rip look right now. It's kind of expected. So JAGX, that's why I say if you really like one and you're paying attention to it, just really watch for that pullback and that dip there. JAGX is getting set up, guys, and looking pretty healthy right here. It does look like it wants to cross through, and that bottom could have been, what, 78 there? 78 today, 78. It dipped down and it's looking good. Keep an eye on JAGX as well, guys, because that one's looking good. And our RCAT, Red Cat Holdings. And this one pulled back, as I was saying, and hitting that line. Watch for it to come back a little more, maybe into the 850s and maybe even 860s right there. Who knows? But we'll watch it. It is going to get set up, but it wasn't ready just yet. And we could tell that last night. And we were definitely saying that it pulled back right there. So there you go for our cat. And let's take a look, and there are your big cats right there. So that was the lion, cheetah, jaguar, and our red cat, our cat holdings. And let's look at NIVF here, and that's a new Gen LVF or something like that. And it just split what yesterday it was, the 11th. Yeah. So this one, look at this one tomorrow, guys, because it's looking much better after that split. Just like whatever else split and looked better. I forget which one it was there. Trying to figure it out. Rhyme was it? Maybe I think it might have been. I forget, but yeah, this one's looking good too after that split, guys. So I would say watch that one. NIVF looking good, 189 to 268. It closed at 212, and it's looking pretty solid. And let's take a look at Austin Gold right here. It was up just a hair. It ran up, and it's getting up to the top right there, and it could keep running up there. So it went 150 to 180. It closed at 162, and like I said, it is getting up to that top, but looking good. Just see if it pulls back real quick, and you get a good price if you're not in it, and it should be trying to pop up there. So AUST looking good right there, and good old Buru, Nubaru. Let's look at BURU. And that one is getting curled up. It just went flat today. And we know that bottom's back here at 15 cents. You're at like 20 something. Let me look and see. It looked like it pulled back in the after hours here. So it went 24 to 27 and it came down to 18. It closed at 20. So yeah, it was trying to curl up. Let it get set up here. Watch it, see if it pulls back anymore. But I really think your bottom is going to be that 15 cents, like 15 and a half. So see if it pulls back anywhere around there for BURU while it gets set up. And it's going to be a good one right there. And how about Adobe ADBE? Definitely looking at this. It was up 394 and it is curling up and looks like it wants to pop up some more actually. So that one is looking pretty good. 459 to 463 and it closed at that 463. It was up to 463.77 and it does look pretty strong for tomorrow. So keep an eye on Adobe right there, ADBE, looking pretty good for some momentum, I would say. And let's look at UPS. That one was looking good to set up here. It looks like it's going up in the after hours, just a little bit flat today. And I would just make sure tomorrow it wants to go up and finish the week strong. If not, you'll get a little bit of pullback. It'll be perfect, and then it'll get set up. So you might have a little bit of a pullback on this UPS, but it's going to get set up and it's going to be a good one. And good old Elf Beauty, this one's looking pretty now, much more pretty than it did. I'll say it correctly. We know that bottom was down here at 63.50. You're at the 74 area. Could be a little bit of pullback. It was in the basement. Again, they hit that line, go flat a little bit, and then they pull back a hair while they get set up. So just keep an eye on the good old Elf Beauty and see if it wants to pull back. It'll be a good price to jump in it, and it will run up when it gets out of the basement there. So that is ELF, and that will get set up. We'll just look for a little pullback. And how about that aim? I'm telling you, this one's going to aim higher, guys. You can just see it getting set up. It jumped around today, kind of opened and closed around the same price. I know that. 15, yeah, it opened and closed at 15. It ran up to 16, came down to 14, and it is getting set up really good, guys. I'm telling you, it's going to aim higher. I don't know if they said anything else. They did not, but they were having that, remember that their Ames Ampligen and AstraZeneca's flu mist to do like the bird flu or something. So can you imagine if that really works? This thing will be flying, guys. So keep your eye on it. It's definitely setting up the run. You can see something was going on. That's why I had to look at it and see what the news was. And now we're keeping an eye on it because that could be big news. And the chart does look good. So AIM, keep an eye on that. And ORKT right here, that orange cloud up 4 cents. And we know this one's curling up and looking good. So keep your eye on ORKT right here. It's 20 is right up here at 145. You're at 125 and it's slowly moving up, but it doesn't look bad. So yeah, keep an eye on that bad boy as it sets up. ORKT, orange cloud technology. And let's look at AAP because I was messing up Apple last night and kept putting advanced auto parts. And then this thing just looks amazing, guys. So keep an eye on AAP because it looks really good right here. And I would have to say it's trying to get cruising. It went 46.85 to 47.65, and it's at 47.65 right now. So it closed at its top. And yeah, this AAP looking really, really good right there. Had to add it to the list, as you can see. So keep an eye on that one right there because it is advanced auto, and people are fixing their cars right now, and they do have earnings coming up at the end of the month, but it's looking good right now. So keep your eye on that one, AAP right there. And CGBS, that was that oil and gas one, Crown LNG Holdings. And when we were going through these, this one I think might have bottomed out today. I saw it down to 28 cents. It's back to 29. I'll look at it again tomorrow and just see if it bottomed out down there, but I have a feeling it did. And it went 29 to 30 down to 28. It closed at 29, and it's not looking bad, guys. So caught my eye. Remember yesterday we were going through oil and gas and I saw it and then I looked at it today and I said, "Oh, that might be the bottom right there. It could be getting set up." So we'll keep an eye on that one. And I think it is right there for that CGBS Crown LNG Holdings. And let's look at AI, which is AEYE. So now I can spell it, Audio I. And it did pull back a little bit today. We couldn't tell what it wanted to do, but honestly, I think it was healthy pullback and trying to get set up. I think it's going to try to roll right off this MACD in the next day or so and get cruising. So keep an eye on it. It's hitting that MACD today. We'll keep an eye on it and see exactly if it wants to roll off there. I think it's going to want to that AEYE. It takes me a while to spell that. But anyway, Audio I. And it is, I think, getting set back up there. Had run up, and now it's like the 50 and the 20 kind of meeting up with each other, looking decent. So we'll keep an eye on that one. And that is AI. And we'll see if it does want to get set up. How about that UOAK? Whoa, UO, hold on. What is it? UOKA, that's what it is. And this one was setting up right here. It ran up a little bit today. I know that. And it did look pretty good, this UOKA here. And it did go 19 to 22. It pulled back to 17 and closed at 18. I didn't even see it pull back, but it did. And it still looks really good, guys. So keep your eye on that bad boy, UOKA. And that thing looks like it wants to still run up right there. And WNW, let's see what WNW is doing. Sounds like wrestling. WNW. And it's one of them China ones that I'll never be able to say right here. It's like Mao Wu, something like that. MEIWU, technology company from China. And they had a huge dip not long ago. And it's just been dragging down there. It was down a little bit today. We were looking at it last night. It did just it's just running that 20s right there. I mean, at 22 cents, you're at 19. It's just a matter of when it wants to get up there in the next day or so. I would definitely keep an eye on this thing. That WNW is getting set up right there and looking good. And SLXN, let's take a look at SLXN and see what it's doing. It was down 3 cents, just kind of flat and above that MACD. I would say it looks better today and getting set up than it did yesterday, just because I think it's hopping into that channel right there. So it isn't looking too bad, SLXN. I'd have to look at it and see what it wants to really do in that captive one, captive vision, good old CAPT. Let's see. That one's actually, I think, going to roll off the MACD. Had that big run up right there, CAPT. And yeah, that one could get curling back up. Let's see if it can get back over that 52-cent area. It went 46 to 48 and closed at 47. And like I said, see if it can get up to that 52, I would say, and it might be much better right there. And that is CAPT, good old cap division. And WTO, let's look at that one right now. That's that small cap China one, and that one's just a little bit flat, but I think it's getting set up, and I think these small cap China ones do want to run. It did go 27 to 29. It closed at 27. But I'll tell you what, it's starting to look really, really good, guys. So I would definitely keep an eye on that WTO. We thought it was going to run the last time. They only got moving like a day or two. This time they look like they're going to move. And WTO looks like one that could get cruising. That EJH definitely ran last time we were looking at them. It was down a little more today and kind of just flat, but way down there, made a nice base. So this one could get set up and try to run up again. So we'll look at EJH again tomorrow, but it is trying to get set up. It's down there and not looking bad. And that LICN, another China small cap one that we're saying keep our eye on. It was just running around today. It went from like 7 to 8 and nothing too crazy right there. And again, they just kind of bounce around as they set up 8 to 9. Oh, it came down to 5 and then closed at 7. I didn't even see it pull back. But hey, guess what? It's probably your dip and rip look. I didn't even doesn't even really say it came down that low right here, but whatever, no big deal. Again, they love that dip and rip right now, so keep an eye on that one tomorrow, LICN. And how about that Clue? Same thing. It was only down a little bit today. It says it was down 7% and a little up in the after hours. But another one just looking really good. Another small cap China one trying to get set up here. And it did. It went from like 12 to 11, closed at 12. I didn't think it was down a whole lot. And yeah, I think this one's getting really set up. I told you that was a good clue. And it is just riding that line, getting curled up. Maybe it has a few days. Again, the timing's off just a hair. They generally move at a different pace, and I can pick it up pretty quick. And they just been throwing me off. I don't know if it was because I was sick. I don't know what's going on, but you can tell my timing is just off a hair. And I'm not worrying about it. I can still see exactly where they're at. And most of them, when they're going to pop, it's just when they're curling up, I usually can tell how many days out they are. And it's just, I'm telling you, it's just like a day or 2 or 3 off, like 1 to 3 days off. And it's just kind of throwing me off a little bit. And again, not the end of the world. And we'll either figure it out or it'll just go back to normal. It's not, like I said, not a big deal. I mean, we still know when they're going to pop. I just like to kind of know ahead of time. But yeah, this one's getting set up. And like I said, it looks like it could have a day or two, but it could be a little bit more, a little bit less. That's what I'm having a hard time with right there on some of these big curl up ones because they're just moving at a little different pace than they usually do. And yeah, I'm telling you, it just throw me off. I don't like when that happens, but it does happen. And so we just have to look at them and try to figure them out like that. NXU, we were looking at that. That popped up like 50% today. And again, these things are just curling up before they even get up and curl through. And they're popping. So. And not only are they popping up, then they'll hit the line, just have a little fresh pullback, and then pop up some more. So 27 to 57, and it closed at 35. So yeah, you play that pop right there and then get out, and then it pulls back a little bit as it sets up. I mean, that's a beauty. And like I said, you just want to find the one that you like the charts on and focus on it, and then you'll just kind of really monitor that one and not try to trade all of these. Obviously, there's a lot of great setups, but you pick the ones that you like, and then you trade them ones smart, and you'll be doing fine. And don't try to trade all of them. I know we go through a lot, but a lot of people look at a lot of different ones, and I don't mind checking out the charts. It's always a good time. So that's why we do so many of them. And again, I see some that are going to be popping up that I didn't even see before or yesterday or on the scanner or whenever. And it just makes the watch list even stronger because we pick out exactly what's popping, setting up what looks good. And then you can make your watch list accordingly and just roll through it and hit some poppers and lock in those profits, like I say. So that's why we do what we do, and we try to make them as accurate. And that's why, like I said, the timing's got me off just by a hair, but I'm not going to stress it, even though it is. I feel like it is making me stressed out. It's not. It's just I'm usually on point, and I just can tell there's so many of them. Just like I'm like, why is that one dragging when it should be up like another day or two? So I know they're a little bit slower than they should be. So That's all. BBAI, this one popped back up today. And again, this one never even came out of the top. It is just rolling back up there. So keep an eye on this. I mean, it could actually run up even higher tomorrow, to be honest with you. It did close strong all the way up there, 825 to 993, and it closed at 980. And it does look like it wants to bust through that support or resistance line right where it's at 980. So we'll have to see what it looks like. Finviz says it came down in the aftermarket, and mine says it went up. And like I said, I'll believe mine because it does look pretty strong right there. So that's BBAI, the big bear. And you know, we were super early on this thing. I mean, we looked at this thing. You guys know we were way early. We looked at this down in the dollar range, and now it's all the way up at $9. So that was insane. And that is your BBAI, that big bear. And ITRM, we've looked at this one before, and it is getting set back up, guys. It's coming off that bottom and trying to make that hard curl up, making a base down here. So I remember they had some drug stuff going on, drug company. I don't know what it was. I totally forget what the heck they do, but it doesn't matter. It was, oh yeah, I'm looking. It was an oral thing for urinary tract infections or something. So ITRM, it is setting back up, looking much better. They just had earnings and it looked like it wasn't bad on February 7th. So it doesn't look too bad there to try to run up. So keep your eye on ITRM and PGHL here. Let's look at it. It's just kind of making a base down there. It did dip down quite a bit. Oh yeah, I remember this one ran up really good. It was set up in that right spot and popped up there. And now it's looking a little better and starting to crawl 76 to 80. It closed at that 79. And yeah, it doesn't look too bad right there. So I would keep an eye on that one. Yesterday could have been its bottom right there at that 75 and a half. And today it got down to 76. So that is PGHL. And that one could be getting set up right there. So you definitely want to keep an eye on that one. I think that's setting up. And good old Holo, let's look at it. HOLO, micro cloud hologram. And this one actually is looking really good. Another China small cap one, guys. So I think Holo's fitting the bill. It does look like it's curling up, and today's bottomed out 120 down there, and it closed at 130. I would keep an eye on Holo tomorrow because that does look good. And it does look like it's setting back up right there. So there you go with them, and I'll just keep on cruising. We got a bunch of them today. So I'll just roll right through this whole list, and then I'll take a look and see what you guys want to see. So let me know. I know Luis Rodriguez did post a couple good ones right there. We'll definitely get to them. And let me just get cruising through this list and we'll knock it out. And then I'll check out what you guys want to see. And we'll look at crypto. I know Bitcoin's around that. I'm telling you that thing too, the same thing with the timing. But holy cow, guys, something huge. It's going to get ripping, guys. Like very, very soon. I know you guys see all ETF 500 was back up over a penny. I know it pulled back a little bit, but it is looking really strong again. And like I've been telling you, it's going to be strong. These meme coins are going to come and go. And this Zach's done it twice, so we don't have to beat it in, but that's why I believe in it. He does know what he's doing. And there is you have to understand these meme coins for sure, especially right now. They're just crazy. And, the good ones are going to last. So that's what's going to happen with these things. So there you go. And crypto is going to be blasting off. But let's just get cruising through the rest of this list. MYNZ, Mainz Biomed right here. And that's MYNZ. And it was down 31 cents. And it looks like it tried to go up in the after hours. Let me take a look at it. MYNZ. 8 to 805 and then down to 702 and it closed at 796. I would say it bounced all around today. And honestly, I would try to think that it was or I would have to think that it was trying to top out, but maybe it is trying to run up there into the top. So I would think it wants to pull back, but it is making a nice little base there. I'd have to keep an eye on it. It's hard to tell exactly which way that one wants to go. I could see it going both ways. Like I said, I could see it pulling back a little bit, nothing crazy, and I could also see it trying to pop up there and getting into the top. So it's just one I'd have to look at just to get a better idea. Upstart Holdings, UPST. This one did have an upstart today, and it was running up there into the top. I know that UPST, and it did run yesterday as well, 70 to 85, 77, 77, or 70, 77 to 85, 33. And then it closed at 84.84, and today it went 85.87 up to 90.44 and closed at 88.39. And yeah, it's still looking pretty strong up here. It does have resistance up at that 92 area, but it did just pop up into the top. So we'll see if it can maintain that top tomorrow. It'd be more of a momentum play right there for your UPST, but it definitely had an upstart holding today, and we'll keep an eye on it. And CTMX, let's see, that's Cytom X Therapeutics or something like that. And this thing looks like it wants to have that hard curl up, guys. So keep an eye on this one. Not sure who sent this one in, but it is looking pretty good right there. Today it rolled down there to what, 75, and that is probably its low right there. And yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that tomorrow. That's an interesting one. CTMX, another biotech company, but does look like it wants to get curled up there. So let me take a look at that one, CTMX, and see what they want to do right there. And FTEL right here, that was down 19 cents, took a nice dip into the basement. And we do love these ones, that's for sure. And I do think it's getting curled up. So I think that bottom could be in today at 64 cents. It's back to 81, and it did. It had a really nice dip right there today, and I do think it's going to try to curl back up. So keep your eye on FTEL. Another one, like I keep saying, they just love this dip and rip look right now. It's crazy. That DOMH, that was running back up today. I know it popped up the other day, and then it was trying to run back up, or it did in the after hours, possibly. I have to look, because yesterday it ran up to like 11:33. And what's it say today? It says it was only in the sevens. Hold on, I have to see, because I thought it ran up in the after hours. Yesterday it went 574 to 11:33. And then today it went 775 to 852, and it closed at 801. So it did close it back up over $8 here. It does say up $1.23 to 810. I'm telling you, the chart, when they don't, the chart not set up and it just telling me the price up and the right, just messes me all up. Could have already been done this one. Um, but yeah, that one I think is popping back up in the top, and anything, it's going to be a momentum play right there for that DOMH, but it did try to run back up again today. And how about SMX? That's a Security Matters. SMX Security Matters right there. And let's see what it's doing. It is trying to curl up. I know it was up a little bit today. I did notice it up, and let's see, it was trying to curl up, looking pretty good, 301 to 338, and close at that 337. And your 20's up here at like 408. So I would keep an eye on that SMX. It did look pretty good today when I saw it, and that's why it made the list right there. And SRM, let's see, that bad boy is curling up and looking good. I think someone sent this one in, but that one does look really good right there. SRM, 30 to 37, and closed at 34. And yeah, I would say it looks pretty healthy. Your 20's just above it at like 38, but not looking bad. So we'll keep an eye on SRM. And OST, let's see what that's doing. Austin Technology right here. And that one's kind of got a weird look where it's trying to curl up but pulling back right there. OST. Whoop, OST. Yeah, just an interesting look where it's on the 20. I could see it pulling back just a hair as it gets set up, but maybe, I mean, it's weird looking. I'd have to look at it in the morning. 251 to 260. It closed at 253. Looks like that low's 250 yesterday, but I just can't really tell if it wants to pull back some more or not. That's OST, so I'll look at that one and see what it really wants to do right there. Let me mark that one with a 6 so I know. And FSLY here, Fast Fly. Oh, that one's going to get flying pretty fast, huh? Yeah, that's setting up FSLY. I like it. It had a nice dip today, 1032 down to 783. It closed at 795. It does say it again. This thing with the it had earnings, that's why, and it pulled back big time. Yeah, I mean it's trying to get set up and had a huge dip right there on earnings, and I would say let's definitely keep an eye on that one. FSLY. That's it. FSLY. We definitely want to look at that one because that one could be a good one after that nice earnings dip right there. We love them earnings dips, to be honest. That's why we don't really like to play the earnings, play them around it, and then take the dips and then run them back up. So we will definitely keep an eye on that. FSLY and X4, XFOR. X4 is X and the number 4 pharmaceuticals. And that thing was getting set up. Looks like it wants to pop off that trend line, support line right there. XFOR. So take a look at it. Could be the bottom today at a 46 cents. It's at 49. We'll see if it wants to pull back anymore, but I'm not so sure it wants to. So that thing's getting set up. XFOR and then XPON. Let's look at that bad boy. XPON. We've looked at this one a bunch of times. XPON 360 it is. And that one's actually setting up. It's been just kind of going up slowly right here. Nothing too crazy. Ran up yesterday from 141 to 150 and closed at 143. And then today 139 up to that 146. It's at 140. So it is slowly coming up. We'll see. I mean, it's real slow, so I would watch if it wants to flatten out or pull back a little bit. Your 20's still up here. I think it's gonna have to come down a little bit. It's at 152. So that is XPON. And that is what that's looking like. And Genius, GNS, that Genius Group, GNS. There you go, Genius Group. That one's looking good. And that looks like its bottom was yesterday with a nice dip at 31.5 cents right there. And GNS 32 to 55, and it's at 52 right now. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I could see it trying to cross through like that hard look. That 50 is up there at about 57 cents. I mean, it's like right there, 52. So here is that 50 up there. Maybe it's at 63, between like 57 and 60 something. And yeah, you got to just keep an eye on it right about there. But GNS, good strong run up right there in the after hours, I must say. And we'll take a look at it and see if it can maintain that mentality, if it can maintain that momentum in the morning and the mentality of the momentum, I guess, huh? But yeah, that's that Genius Group. Let's see if it can keep the mentality of being a genius and have momentum in the morning. Now about that HOOD, let's look at that one. Robinhood, and that one is looking good to roll up there and pop up. Robinhood does look really good right there, guys. HOOD, and it went 54 to 60. Whoa, 54.99 to 66.20, and it's at 64.47. So yeah, Robinhood looking pretty good to roll off and try to run up a little bit higher right there. And how about FBGL? It is, I believe. FBGL. That new one. Oh, I think we're getting a look on it a little bit. FBGL. Let me see. Could have bottomed out finally. Remember, it just opened up and it just came down. That bottom might have been yesterday at that 87 cents. Today it ran from 114 to 145. Its low is 112 and it closed at 120. So yeah, keep an eye on this thing because it did open up way up here, like 426, ran up to 545, and then it's been down ever since. And that is FBGL. It's an engineering and construction company in Singapore. I'm not sure. It's just brand new. I know that. So you can keep an eye on that bad boy, but it did look like it finally bottomed out. We've been looking at it. And good old HEPA right there, HEPA. That one's trying to curl up. We know that. We were looking at it today, 22 to 23, and it did pull back to 18. It closed at 19. That 20's right there, 24. It got right underneath of it, and it could just be a little healthy pullback after that run up yesterday. So just keep an eye on that for tomorrow and see if it wants to cruise back up. And SYRS, remember I told you guys this one was going to get cruising. It was up a little bit here, but it is looking really good. And it did run 18 to 19. Its low was 17. It closed at 18. That open and close at the same spot, curling up. Keep an eye on it. It's hitting that 20. It gets up over that 19. It can get cruising right up to that 22 and get moving. And that's your SYRS. And that's that crazy company that had the insider buying that last time. And we all hit it up to like $3. And then the next day it just like came right down to like into the pennies. But hey, you just catch the poppers. That's why you trade them fast. DTSS Data C. And that one looks like it's going to try to pop off as well. It jumped up 18 cents. It's hitting that resistance up there, but it does look like it wants to bounce off the 20, 220 to 240, and it's at 240 and looks like it wants to cruise up. I would keep an eye on that DTSS. That looks like it's pretty good right there. And how about TCBP? TCBP. Let's see. TCBP. And that's TC Biofarm Holdings. And that one just split, guys. This one's one to take a look at. Up 20 today, up a little more in the after hours. Let me see. TCBP here. Oh, yeah, that one probably bottomed out yesterday at that, 318. Today is 322. I would say that's getting cruising off the reverse split. And that's TCBP. Reverse split right there. And boom, I would say that's going to be a cruiser. TCBPRS. There you go. All right. That one's looking good. How about this Blackberry? Just keeps going up here slowly but surely, huh? Up 55 cents. Big pop. Still running up into the top. No idea what they're up to. But remember we were looking at them not long ago and I was saying, like, what the heck does Blackberry even do? But it looks decent. Well, guess what? I guess it was looking decent for a while. And that was like a month or so ago. I remember. Could have been even like a month and a half ago, but it's been running up ever since. I mean, it's been running up since December. And I just remember talking about it. And yeah, there you go. Because I remember they owned some software and some patents and stuff. You guys were saying it, but we were talking about the phones and stuff like that. So that was BlackBerry. And yeah, just look at it. Could be a momentum play in the morning, guys. So keep an eye on that one. And FFIE, let's see what that Faraday future's doing here. It is trying to curl back up. I would say that. So I would keep an eye on FFIE. It doesn't look bad at all. It's in that channel, that 20 to 50s up here, like 153 or at 146. And it does look good. So I would take a look at FFIE. I don't know if it's going 8,000% again, but it could get moving. FFIE and SURG right here. Surge pays. And let's see what Surge pays is up to. Oh, let me see right here. It's that I would have to think it's pretty much in a good spot, and it's probably tried to cross through already twice, and I would have to assume it's crossing through this time. It went 136 to 145 and closed at 141 and looks pretty good. I would say it could take a surge right there, so keep an eye on Surge Pays, SURG, and FGL right here, Founder Group, down 2 cents, and that one's hitting the line right there. Let me just take a better look at FGL. Oh, wait, mine looks like it's crawling up 151 to 157, closed at 156. And yeah, it looks way better than the FinViz. I would say if it looks like mine, which it probably does, FGL is going to be looking good. And MNMD right here. Let's see. That one looks like it wants to roll up higher. MNMD. So let me see. MNMD. Let me take a look at it. Here we go. That's that Mind Science one. And it is trying to curl up. I think it is trying to run up. And your resistance is going to be at like 940. It's at 850 now, but it does look like it's trying to roll up there. Just make sure it is for MNMD, and it will run up there if it's curled up like that. LITM is Snow Lake Resources, and this one could have been bottomed out right here and getting set up. It looks like it might have bottomed today. LITM. 63 to 66 down to 52 and back to 62 and looks pretty good right there. So I would take a look at that LITM. And there you go. Let's take a look at our laptop travels and our Jolie's jams. And then we'll take a look at our messages right there. So let me know what you guys want to look at because we can bust through these pretty fast. That's for sure because we already know that the laptop travel list is going to be pretty set up. And the Jolie's jams are just a couple that are decent as well. So here we go. Gold, GOLD, Barrick Gold running up. Remember, we were looking at it, was hitting that top, and it just keeps on running. So keep an eye on that thing. Could get up in the top and run up some more right there. And this AQMS, wow, Aqua Metals is looking really good, guys. Keep an eye on this thing. It's getting set up right there. AQMS looking beautiful, I must say. And how about BRT, which is BRT Apartments? And I'm telling you, these real estate ones, that's exactly what that LRHC one is. And they're just taking a little bit longer than they should, honestly. But whatever, it's perfectly fine. We have patience and we know that they're going to pop. That's all you have to worry about. Catch the bottoms and around the bottom and just be patient with it. And that's it. BRT, it's run up there a little bit more, but again, we were looking at it's in that channel. Let it get out of the channel. It's really going to run up there. So still looking pretty good right there. Cassie is a biotech company in China, and this thing looks like it wants to blast off. Wow. CASI, keep an eye on this thing. Oh, CASI, yeah, off the 20 right there. This one could be a blast off tomorrow, 251 to 254, and that's where it closed, and it's looking pretty good right there. So I would take a look at that one. And that is CASI and HPK. Let's look at HPK right here. High Peak Energy, and that one is just kind of pulling back. It was run up yesterday, had some high peak energy yesterday, and it ran on up to 15.15 today. It was 14.75 up to 14.96, but it did pull back. It's at 14.27. Could be a little bit of pullback. We'll look at it, and that's HPK and MCFT. That's Mastercraft Boat Holdings. And this one just kind of pulling back, but I bet it's getting set up right there. Probably is going to roll off that MACD. It got back into the channel. Let it get set back up, probably another few days there. And that one will look good. MCFT and MOV. Let's look at Movado Group. There you go. This is a watch company. We know luxury goods, Movado. And I remember we looked at it and it was bouncing off that bottom. Right now it's in a channel hitting resistance up here at about $20. And it is closed at $20. So like I said, it is hitting it right there. And let's see what it wants to do. It's at 1969, and it's in that. I think it's going to try to stay in this little channel right here for the most part, 1942 up to that about 1981. It can bounce up to that 20 or so and just stay in there. But that's all it looks like it's doing for right now until it gets set up. And that's MOV, Movado, and NGNE. NGNE right here, Neurogene. This one had run up not long ago and it had some pullback and it looks like it's curling back up right there. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, it's up in that channel and I think NGNE is going to get set up right there. Curl up into that channel and look pretty good. NRC, National Research Corp. And this one is just in that right in that channel too, off that 20. Expect it to bounce around a little bit as it gets set up, and then as they pinch together, it'll smack it up there. And that's NRC, your National Research Corp, National Research Corp. I don't know how to read. I can see a chart, but give me anything else and forget about it. As you guys know, ONVO, and I just make fun of it anyway. It's all good. It's all fun and games to me. ONVO, here we go. Organovo. I'm telling you, I try to read the ones that I know I can't even pronounce just because I know it's got to be funny for you guys. My wife loves when I do it, so I figured you guys might as well get a good kick out of it. I'm telling you, with my brain injury, it's so great. Everything's so much fun. It's like having a circus all the time in my life. So there you go. ONVO. Here we go. And it is curling up. It's looking good to set up. And again, the timing might be off, but it's probably going to run up in this channel up to that 39 cents, run from like this 36 to 39. Why get set up better? And then that one's going to look good. It's a biotech company. Not sure what they do. Um, they appointed somebody in January, but I don't see anything new, so I'm not sure. But no big deal either. It's just setting up, and that's all we care about. And yeah, it just has a little bit of time right there. OPAL, Opal Fuels. This one looks good, guys. Now that one's up 17 cents and could be a runner for tomorrow on that momentum up there to the 50, which is at 329. You're at 315 right now. So definitely keep an eye on that OPAL. That could be still running. And OTLK is at Outlook Therapeutics. And we remember this one took a nice dip down here. And this one is actually setting up and looks like it could be bottomed out yesterday and taking that hard curl up. Yesterday it did go down what to 159, and then today's bottom right there was 161. It's at about 170, I believe. Let me look. OTLK, and it is at 166 to 176, and it closed at 166 according to mine, and it did look like it opened and closed around the same price, but it is crawling up there looking pretty decent. So I would say OTLK getting set up, and PMCB, that Pharmasite Biotech. And that one's kind of crawled through and just setting up another one. Just has some resistance up here at 164. You're at 161. So you might get a little bounce around. It jumped up through it yesterday, but I think it's just trying to make that base to make it strong to get through. So I would expect it to get through in a few days or so. And Rappaport or something therapeutics. This one's setting up good, guys. It's rolling off that 20 real good and popping up here. So keep your eye on good old Rapport Therapeutics or whatever. And it is looking pretty good. It's going to roll off that MACD and cruise up there. So keep an eye on that. And what's ship up to? Let's see if it's sailing out. Good old ship, Sea Energy Maritime, and it is just sitting there. I remember we looked at it not long ago, and it was just kind of making a base here, and it does look much better, I would say. So keep an eye on that ship. And like I said, we looked at it, and it didn't do a whole lot. It was kind of just trying to get set up, then crawled down. Now it's crossed through, going back up, getting into the channel, and the 50s up here at 709. You're at 696, and it does want to get set up to sail out. So keep an eye on SHIP, good old ship, and VSTE is that Vast Renewables, and this was up 3 cents, and now the basement made that hard curl up, hitting that 20 and just trying to get set back up here. So keep an eye on this VSTE too if you like that one, because it does look like it wants to get through that 20 again, which is at 96 cents, and it's at 89. And there you go with your laptop travel list. Very nice list there. Let's bust through our Jolie's Jams. Agrify. This one's setting up really good, guys. Remember I said it yesterday. It was up 3 something, and it does look like it wants to get cruising. So keep an eye on Agrify. It finished strong, 21.36 to 24.73, and it closed at that 24.73. So there you go at Agrify. Definitely looking good there. And BLNK, this one was way down, but I think it is trying to get set up, and it finally bottomed out today. And again, that dip and rip is so great. It went from 101 up to 107, down to 92. It probably went 101 down to 92, and then closed at that 107 right there. So BLNK looking much better today. So keep an eye on that to try to be set up and get moving. And good old Sezzle SEZL. That one looks pretty good. It had a little pullback, but guess yesterday and then today it's up $40, and it wants to run. Like I tell you, I wish that thing had options because it would be a beauty. And good old Sterling was down, and we're watching this thing pull back. Next time it gets curled up, it's running through STRL. And good old Rivian was up 4 cents, and this thing's getting set up right here and just making a base. They do have their earnings coming up February 20th, which is next Thursday, so a week from tomorrow. So I think we let it get set up until then, see what it wants to do for Rivian. And good old Symbiotic SYM, and that one is trying to curl back up. I don't know if it's going to get through. I think it hits that line, comes back down again, and gets set up, and then runs through the next time. So that's what Symbiotic looks like. So there you go with your Jolie's Jams and your laptop travel list. And let me see what you guys want to look at. EOSA or ESOA, Joseph J. ESOA. Let's take a look at Energy Services of America. And that thing's curling up nice. It bounced up yesterday, huh? ESOA here. And yeah, it is looking really good, I must say. 1001 to 1179. It closed at 11. Your 20s up here at 1205-ish. And then your 50s up here at about 1350 area. And it does look like it's going to try to get, or at least hit that 20 and try to push its way into it tomorrow. So keep an eye on that one, that ESOA. I'd say that looks pretty decent right there. And that PDYN wants to go higher. Let's look at it, Luis Rodriguez. Let's look at your the ones that you threw up. I saw you throw up a couple good ones up there. Yeah, you're right. PDYN does look like it wants to go a little bit higher. Has that resistance up there at 1211, but you're at 1060 something, and it is getting set up to even run higher than that when it just after it bounces around here. So I would agree it does probably want to run up tomorrow. And then, like I said, getting set up right there. Boom. Let's see. The Pink Wolf was asking about the Phantom. We downloaded yesterday, get started. Finally got Solana sent in there today, and I'll send out the rigged. I'll tell you what it looks like. It's not a problem. That's no problem at all. I just kind of made it. I was actually a picture of a dog laying there with a football because, like I said, I made it after the NFL being rigged. And then we realized that all these meme coins are rigged and everything else. And yeah, I'm telling you, that chart looks pretty good. You can see the bots just trading it, that rigged. It's kind of crazy, I'm telling you. So he could easily just run it up like we did last weekend on the Super Bowl. And then these bots get involved. And then all your job is to sell faster than the bots. As it runs up, sell. And then as it pulls back, you can buy some more. And I'm telling you, that game can play forever as long as no one's pulling the rug on it, which you know I'm not. And yeah, it's a pretty fun little game right there. You guys can definitely play all the time. So I'll post it up afterwards for sure, Pink Wolf. And yeah, I see the market cap was going back up today. I was like, look at that thing. It's just amazing, like how these meme coins work. And again, it's these bots are just crazy. So it was a great experiment to see. And yeah, I'm glad I definitely did it. But like I said, we can definitely have fun with it as well. TIVC, Tivic Health, that one did run up, and I agree. That's another lottery play. It went up in sympathy with lottery. I didn't even know that's what they did, to be honest with you. I had no idea what this. It says medical devices here, but I have no idea. But I'll tell you what, look at it in the morning, TIVC, because you're probably going to get a momentum play like that lottery went up and went crazy. I think TIVC could definitely do it for sure. So there you go. And oh, thanks, Doge Mama. She liked the snowman and my little guy. We built a little snowman on our back deck today since we woke up to some snow. We did go sledding today. We were actually the only people out the hill because some of the kids had 2 hour delays. My little guy had off, so I just took him sledding this morning. And and honestly, it was really fun. We were the only people out there just rolling around the hill and just having a good old time. So, and then someone had built a snowman down at the bottom of the hill, like way back. I mean, you had to really walk like a couple minutes to get back there. It was crazy. So, of course, my little guy wanted to walk back there. And so we were just hanging out, having a good time in the snow today. And then we came back and built a snowman out at my house. So he wanted to build one, and it was a lot of fun, obviously. You don't get snow all the time. We don't get snow all the time anymore, and I do enjoy it for sure. So, yeah, I like to go out there. So, there you go. And yeah, here we go. Let's look at these Luis Rodriguez ones. I did see these up here. TIVC, that Tivic Health that we were just talking about. Like I said, keep an eye on that in the morning because that certainly could be a big momentum popper in the morning. Peloton does look good. You're right about that. PTON, I would say that definitely looks pretty solid right there. And 870 to 932, it closed at 919. So yeah, that is looking pretty solid to go up, I would say, and just to at least get up to the top. If anything else, if it doesn't get into the top, it should get up there. FCX Freeport McMoran or something. I've never seen this one, I don't think. FCX. Watch you tell me we looked at it today. I like this morning. I'd just like be like, that's crazy. I'm still blown away that we looked at one yesterday and I have no recollection of it at all. Like it's just kind of mind-boggling to me. FCX. Freeport, this bad boy, that one is kind of crawling up there on that 20. It's hitting some resistance, but you know if it gets up on though it's going to get popping. You just have to look at this one in the morning, make sure it's staying on that path. It did kind of pull back 37.91 up to 38.44 and its low is 37.21, but it closed right under where it opened at 37.82. And like I said, it's right there on the. It could spring up there. You just have to take a look at that one. ANAB, ANAB. Let's see what that's doing. ANAB, yeah, that had some good momentum today, up 30%, 377, and it is trying to curl up really hard. Let me take a look. 1556 ANAB, up to 2118, and it closed at 1605. I'd have to look at it in the morning. It went a little flat there, but it still did have a huge run up today, I must say. And we'll have to see. I don't know if it's going to curl through exactly tomorrow. We'll look at that one and make sure that it does want to really get cruising. And yeah, that Yosh, we looked at it on about on 1227 and 113. So here we go. On 113, I can tell you it was at 296 was its high, and its low is 275. You're at 14. Well, it got up to like 16 something today. 1650. So there you go. And we looked at it in 1227 ish, right after Christmas, and it was still low right there, like three something. So yeah, that was a big pop upper, huh? There you go for Yosh. All you had to do is be a little patient on that restaurant one. And I'm telling you, these things get set up. Sometimes they take a little longer, but if you're patient and you like it definitely pays off. And there's an example of that one. YOSH. I wouldn't chase it up there. It's way in the top. But Luis Rodriguez, he takes great notes and he does know. And yeah, he pays attention to these big cappers too. He knows exactly what's going on with them, and he knows which ones are going to be running for sure. Just like laptop travel, he's got zoned in on these little ones, like these laptop lowdowns and these channel ones, and they're always moving big. Luis Rodriguez does it with the big caps, and yeah, they might not run 100% because big caps generally aren't going to ever do that. But again, with these options, these pop ups are just as big. They're bigger than the 100%ers. I've shown you. I'll show you some more of them. So yeah, they definitely run up, and it's crazy. So CLS, this bad boy, 129 to 130, and this one does look like it's trying to roll back up here. So CLS does look pretty good, I must say. We'll make sure it does want to roll tomorrow, but that low of 121 today does look pretty good for it to stay there. And that is CLS and SMH. Let's see what SMH is doing here. What's that? Oh, that's that Van. I knew we'd do this. Van Eck Semiconductor ETF. And it did cross through. It is looking good. And we just know these semiconductors they're just taking their time. That's all. This thing just got into the channel the other day, and it's stuck in there at 250 down to 247. Took that nice dip, but it's at 248, and it's perfectly fine right there. So yeah, it's looking pretty decent to jump around for the semiconductor ETF SMH. And MDB, let's look at MDB here and see what it's doing. MDB is at MongoDB, and it is going up more. It was up another, what, 634 today. I did look at it. And yeah, it did blast off 280 to 294, and it closed at that 294. So there you go. We were just telling you about that one, and it did blast off. So, like I said, Luis Rodriguez has a great eye for them bad boys, and can definitely nail them. And I did add, yeah, MNMD and LITM Drake. I did put them on the list at the very end. So there you go. And what else did we have here? I saw that list right there. We got that bad boy. Thank you. And let me see what else. Did I miss anything else? Let me take a look. I think, oh yeah, that DTSS, we definitely looked at it. So I'm pretty sure I got all these bad boys. And there was one like hemp. And I don't know what that is. I said it's a stock, but I don't see it. And I meant to go back and ask if he meant There's two of them I know of that are OTCs for the most part, and I'm thinking maybe you mean HPCO. Who was that? Where was that at? I just was on it and it just moved. I hate Trader Dan. You asked about hemp, HPCO or HPST. I know them too. They're both OTCs, and I'm gonna think that it would be Hempico, the HPCO. It's a little more popular than the HPST one, but I can look at them both. That the oh yeah, and this Hempico HPCO. This one is kind of setting up, to be honest with you. Again, the OTCs aren't my specialty, but this one you can kind of see it's looking much better. I think it is going to try to roll off that MACD. And the other one that comes up, like I said, when you do it, is the HPST. And this one's a little harder. It's a little goofier of an OTC. That's why I was saying that. It's like it's under a penny for the most part, or penny and a half, but it does go under a penny. And that one's pulling back. So I would imagine if you were asking about one, it would have been the first one I just said. And that was, oh, I just forgot what it was. And I went to HPCO. So let me know if that's what you were looking at. And yeah, if not, we'll have to try to take a look and see what you are trying to check out there because I'm not exactly sure. And I don't know any of the tickers that are called hemp, to be honest with you. And I did look and wasn't sure. So there you go with them bad boys. And let me see, did I miss anything? I don't think I did. I think we got everything there. We got to look at our big caps and our SPY. And of course, our crypto. Definitely have to look at that. And like I said, it is just setting up, guys. The timing is just weird on it. But it is looking pretty good right there. Not even pretty good. It's looking crazy, like it's gonna get wild. So let's we'll take a look at our SPY and our big caps first, and then we'll do that. Our SPY was down $1.95, but was not looking terrible right there. Again, it did cross through at one point, but it pulled itself back up. You know how I talk about that happening, and it does look like it's going to try to bounce back up. It's been playing that bounce off the MACD line. And like I said, I was surprised to see it cross down and it pulled itself right back up. And I did post it, so I know it did it because I circled the chart and posted it. So it was definitely crossed down. But I love when they pull themselves back up. Usually means they'll go back up or roll off there. So that was your SPY report. And then how about Apple AAPL? This one is cruising, guys, on that Babin news yesterday. So that one does look really good, Apple. And I mean, it does look like it wants to continue up to that 50 right there to 240. So it's at 237. So keep an eye on Apple. And Amazon did pull back. It was looking pretty good, to be honest with you. It came back 383. It's coming back to that 50 right there. It was sitting on a good support line, but it was crossed down. It was trying to crawl up, so it is going to pull back just a little bit more. Not a big deal because we'll catch it. And like I said, it's coming back to the 50, which is at 226. It's at 229, so gives you a good opportunity. We'll see if it gets any lower. Good old Google came down to a support line. Expect that one to try to start bouncing back soon, and that's GOG. Good old Google. Meta up another $5 today. I'm telling you, this thing's insane, guys, and it looks like it wants to go up even more. So yeah, I have no idea what he is up to over here, Zuck. But remember, I told you at 600 it would look crazy, and it just keeps going up. So good old Meta, just absolutely nuts. And let's look at what else? Microsoft. That was down 240. I think today was its bot. Maybe not though. Maybe it pulls back a little bit more tomorrow. But today it did get down to that 404. It's at 409. So we'll have to look at it. It did pull back, not and could be its bottom. I mean, we'll look at it tomorrow. Nvidia tried to keep itself on that support line and is. So I think Nvidia fought its way up and it might go up tomorrow. Keep an eye on it. Stayed in that channel right there, 133.34 down to 129, but closed at 131. So it wasn't too bad for Nvidia right there, NVDA. And let's take a look at our Tesla because it was up over $8 at 1.10, and it is making a base down here, so it's going to get set up and get moving again. So that's a good sign for Tesla. And AMC up 19 cents. I told you guys that thing was getting moving. I mean, it's not running 100%, but over 5%, over 5%, they add up. And that is going. And GameStop was down 57 cents, just setting up. That Unity was down a little bit. That could be bottoming out. And good old Chewy was up 32 cents. And that one looks like it could be getting set up. So we'll keep an eye on it. And Netflix, that was actually back up $19 and trying to get back up into the top. I was kind of surprised, to be honest with you. So Netflix trying to run back up there. AVGO up $1.31 and not looking bad. It's trying to jump up to like that 240 area. It's at 236 something. And that is AVGO, and good old MU was down 240, just kind of some pullback as it sets up like these semiconductors are. And TSM was down a little bit, and another one just getting set back up. SMCI keeps going up there. Well, it was up to $40. I think it's hitting that top. Could be making a base. I would be careful though, and just make sure watch for some pullback on it just in case. And AMD is trying to get cruising back up after it took that big beating after the earnings, so it doesn't look too bad right there. And QCOM did pull back a little bit, and like I was saying, you got to be careful with that one. It was on the that line. It's trying to curl up there. You had to make sure it was, and it looks like it's actually going to pull back now. So I think you're going to get some pullback with QCOM. And INTC, that one did run up there, and it looks like it's going to try to run up a little more, up $1.51 today. So there you go with Intel. And let's see what else is going on here with PayPal. That one had dipped down, and I think that could be a bottom down here. So keep an eye on that. That bottom could be down here at like that $75 area. It's at 76 right now, and that's PYPL, PayPal. And let's see what Snow's going to do. I think it was pulled back, but it's looking great. No, it was oh yeah. No, it was up today, and I think it's going to pull back. So just keep an eye. I don't know if it's going to bust right through this 190 just yet. I think it's going to get set up right here. So might have a day or so. Keep an eye on Snow to see if it wants to pull back at all. You get a better price. But it was up today looking really good, and it is setting up right there to try to run. So that is SNOW. And Dell, that thing's going up right there and looking much better. So Dell's trying to fight its way back up. And let's take a look at, let's see, PLTR. Well, PLTR, our buddy. And that thing just keeps going up, guys. It's going to run up in the top a little more. And Sophie wasn't looking too bad. It pulled back, but it is getting set up right there. And good old Mara, that thing was up 22 cents. I'm telling you, these things are setting up, and including crypto, Riot's looking much better. CLSK looks great, guys. That thing's getting ready to try to run. And so is MSTR. MicroStrategy wants to get popping. It was up $7, and it's looking really good to get set up there. So keep your eye on MicroStrategy. And like I said, CLSK looking great. Even Coinbase up $8, trying to curl back up and looking pretty good. We'll see if it can cross through, but it is looking good. DJT making a base, trying to look much better here. So they're all looking much better. And good old Funware, that one's looking pretty good. PHUN, I'm telling you, that thing is going to get fun. And that Mountain was down 90 cents, but sitting right on support lines. I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on with it. Like, looks like it wants to pop. It's right on that line. I could see this thing running up pretty big. Good old Mountain. And McDonald's MCD pulled back a little bit, but it was up in the top yesterday, and it ran up for us. And Boeing up 581. We know it's going to keep running up. It looks really good right there. And that's BA and good old Space. That thing's a disaster, and it's in the basement. It probably is going to try to curl out soon, so we'll look at it. And Rivian, we already took a look at, but we'll look at IBM, and that was up $1.11. Looks like it's trying to curl up a little bit. I'll keep an eye on IBM, make sure it does. And good old Disney, that one's trying to set back up down here, and got Oxy down is pulled back, but it's getting ready to cross. I think the next time they're just getting set up. And like I said, I think they're taking like three times to cross through. ExxonMobil, same thing, pull back, hit that resistance right there, and did pull back a little bit. So I would say that one's going to pull back to get set back up, and then it's really going to get running there for ExxonMobil. And Nike, that one was up a hair, and it does look like it's trying to get set up to run. And DXYZ, that Destiny's Tech 100 is trying to crawl back up. It's at 49.05 and does look a lot better today. We'll see. It's got to get through this $50 50/50 area right there, and it can get moving. So, and let's take a look at Hood. That one did blast off in the after hours. I did see, and it looks like it wants to get cruising right there. So yeah, Hood did have great earnings thanks to crypto, and it did look good. It went from 54.99 and it closed around 64.47, got up to 66.20 in the after hours. So yeah, I'm telling you, crypto's getting ready, guys. And so are we. So let's knock it out. Bitcoin is at 97.5. Sol's at 197. Ethereum's at 27.40. Ripple's at $2.47. And let's see, Cardano's at 78 cents right there. So let's take a look and see what these bad boys are doing. And I love my stock cube, I tell you all the time. And Doge is at 26. I just feel like I'm on Wall Street when I watch it go through the tickers right there. But let's go ahead and look in the app and see what these charts are doing. And yeah, I always know what crypto's doing. I can tell you that right now. Let's look at it though. Let's see what these charts are up to. Bitcoin at 97.5. And I'm telling you guys, the things are looking. I've been telling you something's happening, and it's about to happen. I'm telling you, the timing's been off on me, but it's getting there, and it's right there, guys. And then I'm telling you, you're gonna see the ETF 500 blasting off. You're gonna see all this shit blasting off. So if you're not in it, guys, I'm telling you, the stuff is getting set up. These were these dips before they want to rip. I don't know what's going on, what they're going to announce, but it's got to be something. Ethereum's jumping up, looking great. And yeah, I can tell they're just going to do something here. I have no idea what it is, but something's going on. And you know when I say that, something's going on, guys. You can just tell by these charts. Solana's at 197, looking good. Cardano's at 78. That thing's trying to get back up there, too, looking much better. So, yeah, they something. I don't know what it is. Doge is at 26. And let's see. Oh yeah, that one looks much better. Trying to run up actually. So that looks pretty good. Chain links back to 1919. Let's look at Bonk. That looked pretty good earlier, I must say. BONK. Let me take a look at it. And yeah, it was way down. It's making that base. And BONK, I think, is going to try to get cruising now. It looks really good. So Bonk looks like it's going to try to run up here. I'll look at the ETF 500. Let's see where it's at real quick. I'll let you guys know. Let me just take a quick look. Hold on, I gotta find it. It's down here. What'd I do? Oh, there it is. Here it is. Let me see. The chart, it's at 8.7 million, so I can tell where it's at. It's at like 0.0086, so it's not looking bad. It was running up, and it does look good, like it's going to continue its way up. And like I said, crypto is looking insane, guys. So something is going on. Not sure exactly, but Bitcoin's going to get wild and it's going to drag the rest of them, and they're going to get crazy. So I don't know why, but you can just see it happening. And it's happening real soon. Like I said, the timing's been off a little bit, but you can see it. It's about to happen. So there you go with them bad boys. And that was our crypto, our big caps, our SPY, our everybody, laptop travel, Asian Joe Lee's, even our Luis Rodriguez list. And let's see what the news says. Global stocks rally on Ukraine peace hopes, actually. Bonds sell off. Yeah, apparently Trump and Putin are supposed to be talking and trying to end that bad boy. So that would make things pop off. There you go. That could happen. Asian stocks rise. Bonds sell off after U.S. CPI comes. CPI comms, yeah, and S&P 500 futures tick higher as investors look ahead to more earnings, inflation data, $5 eggs, and more. Here's the inflation breakdown for January, and then what did it say? Dow and S&P 500 fall after the inflation hits rise. Let's look and see what's going on over here at our scanner real quick. Let me just take a quick look real fast. TIVC, that's CYN. KDLY ran way up there. Take a look at it. It's probably going to run up. Even that TIVC and that KDLY, both of them could run up in the morning some more, guys. So play them accordingly. And that ADTX, just some pullback. XLO, same thing. Check that one out. That one ran up pretty big as well. Um, APTO looks like it could try to move up some more right there. And we already know about the Big Bear, Wint. Tesla looks good. AIFF, that one ran up some more today. That Firefly. And Lucid setting up, guys, looking much better. So keep an eye on LCID. And Lyft took a nice dip today, and that RGTI was up a little bit, but I don't think them guys are ready. I've been keeping an eye on them, and that OMGA is just run up. We know that. How about that SPGC, guys? What I say last night, Sax Parente Golf, that was up 85% today. Remember I told you that guy that was going to run, and I even looked at True Golf, TRUG, and it didn't even look good. It was up a penny. I mean, it's starting to look better today, but yeah, that Sax Parente went nutty today, and we were definitely looking at it last night. I checked it out, and boom, there you go. I meant to post that. I did see that up today. And yeah, that QBTS, the Quantum Wave, it is up today. Let me look at it. I was looking at them earlier. Let me see. Yeah, they're looking a little better. Again, I don't know if they're going to cross through just yet, so let me keep an eye on it. It does look a little bit better, I must say. So I'll look at them tomorrow. I've been keeping an eye on them bad boys, and we'll see what it wants to do. That grab was up a little bit as well. Let me see what else. That plug's going to get set up, guys. It's way down there at 165. We looked at GNS. Hood was up. And let me take a look over here and see if there's anything else going on. Let me see. Let me see. I don't see anything jumping out at me at the moment. I mean, we already know Wissa, it jumped up today. Nothing crazy there. Went as well. That ANAB, that one jumped up. We were talking about it already. And what else? I don't really see. Oh, that FTEL, we were talking about that one. Yeah, I don't see anything that we haven't covered. Let's put it that way. Let me see what's going on over on the stock twits. Let me know if you guys want to see anything else. And we'll see what's happening over here. Let me see. Hood's up there. That GRRR, what's that up to? That Gorilla Technology's up like $3. That's popping back up. Keep an eye on that bad boy in the morning, guys. GRRR. That looks like it could have some momentum right there as well. And Reddit looks like it's probably coming down. Remember, it's up actually. And oh, yeah, it came way down the after. I was going to say it was way up. Did they have their earnings today or something? Yeah, they did. It looks like it came way down. It says it does. I have to look at mine to actually notice what the hell's going on. And yeah, there it is. It's way down and cross through. Woohoo! Mine shows it. Anyway, Reddit, there you go. It's way down. BlackBerry, I'm telling you, something's going on there. They're even trending, so keep an eye on it because it could be popping up there. And APP, that app loving, we've looked at that, and that thing's like just been running at the top, crazy thing, that software application, and it does look like it's trying to do something. Let me look at it tomorrow. Good old APP. Can't tell which way it wants to go at the moment, so I'd have to look at it. I don't want to tell you the wrong way. Good old Trade Desk as a software application looks pretty good to curl up $2, and it looks like it's trying to get moving. What's IREN? I'm not even familiar with that one. IREN. And that one looks like it's trying to move up as well. They do have earnings when today they had earnings and it's trying to run up. So we'll keep an eye on that IREN and that what is that? Dutch Brothers, that's it. BROS, that thing jumped up in the after hours. I was assuming they had earnings and they did. And yeah, that thing did jump up there. And DDOG, what the hell is that? I don't even know what that is. Data Dog. That sounds like one that Luis Rodriguez would definitely know. And it does have earnings coming up tomorrow, and it does look really good, guys. No, I don't like earnings, but Data Dog looks pretty damn good. DDOG, it looks like it ran up 146 all the way to 154, and it's at 154 right now. So there you go. And at DOMH, we did look at that already. And I was saying just keep an eye on that tomorrow as well. So there you go with them bad boys. And what else? I think we got everything that we wanted to look at, I'd have to say. I know another one that I looked at today, SDOT. That thing we've looked at before, and it's looking really good, SDOT. So keep an eye on that thing. It's looking pretty hefty right there to get moving off that bottom line. It went 275 to 290, closed at 276, but looking pretty good to get set up there for SDOT. And there you go, everybody. I think we got everything. And I would say, boom, yeah, the SPY did hold its strong support today. I would assume, like I said, they're just not crossing it down. I was surprised when I saw it. That's why I posted that chart and circled it because I couldn't believe it came down. I actually wrote, I just mentioned that I didn't think they would cross it down, and here you go. And then boom, it pulled right back up. So I wasn't that far off, and I was surprised when I saw it down. I was like, wow, they're going to cross that down like that? That's pretty impressive. And I wasn't expecting it, but yeah, it came back up. Like I say, they pull them back up. That's a good look for it to curl up, and that is good. So. And there you go, right there. Let me see what else is going on right here. Anything else? I think we got everything, guys. So that's a pretty good market review, I would say. And let's see if we can hit the week at the end of the week next at the end of the week on a Thursday. See if we can get a little more green there and things really start popping up. And like I said, these China small caps are starting to look good. So keep an eye on them, and we will definitely go through things in 7 a.m., see how the market looks for our pre-market, do our Jolie's jumpers and our laptop lowdowns, of course, our crypto, and make sure that's still looking good. I'm telling you, something's going on there. So I expect something to be popping real soon, and we'll keep our ears and eyes open for that. And there you go. So thank you, everybody, for hanging out. I greatly appreciate it. And thank you, Laptop Travel, for all your help, and Asian Jolie and Luis Rodriguez. And Green's on there. Yeah, just Green. And Doge Mama and Jay Kratz, RD, Barbara, the Stock Panther, Bong Prechan, Brian, Robert, Bam, what's that? Bam Trading and Investments, Sinai, CT, Anthony's on there. How you doing, Anthony Nunez? And Sean and Alicia, how are you doing tonight? Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Like I said, I always greatly appreciate it. Have a great time with you guys. And just let me know if you want to see anything in the morning. We'll look at it and see what the market's going to be doing. So all information presented here was for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in for Thursday night. And I will be back at 7 a.m. for our pre-market. So have a good night, everybody. And I will see you guys in the morning. Have a good night.